Hello everyone, my name is Shambhavi. Hope you all are doing well. So here in this today's particular video, we are going to learn about the different keys which we have here in the SQL. So let me just quickly put on the topic for today. Right, yeah, so that is keys in SQL, right? So this is the particular topic that we are going to discuss right today. Okay, so quickly let's get started out. So the very first thing that I'm going to discuss is that what are keys actually. Okay, first of all, I'll be telling you about the keys in detail, that what are these. Then I'll be telling you about the different types of keys which we actually have out here. Okay, fine. So, okay, let's write out some of the things here. So the keys, right? Let's see that what are actually keys. So we can see, first of all, let me tell you the older definition, or even just let me write out as well here. So keys is an attribute. It's an attribute, or you could say actually a set of attributes. That doesn't make out any too much difference. I'm just not writing that. Okay, so basically keys is an attribute which helps you helps which helps you to identify. Okay, let me just write out the correct identify. Okay, which helps you to identify a row in a table. Okay, fine. Please have a clear look here on this particular thing that I'm going to say. So, keys is actually an attribute which completely helps you to identify a row in a table. So, whenever you just want to identify out a row in a table, so in that case, key is an attribute which helps you to do out the same particular thing. Right? Hope you first of all got out this idea that what are these keys and what are they actually used for. Right, so basically they allow you to find out a relation between two tables. This is one another thing which is done by the keys. So these keys basically allow you to find out a relation between the tables. So I will just put on a simple point here, that's finding the, and I could just write out here like this, finding the relations, right? This is what I could just put on. Clear? Okay, great. So basically these are first of all some few things regarding the keys, that what are they actually and what are they used for now. Next I'm going to list out all the keys which we have here, and I would just naming them with a different color. So let's say I'll just take out this particular one. Fine. So the first type of key which we are having is super key. So here goes the super key, the very first name of the keys, right? Okay. Next we are having here, that's the primary key. So primary, and here goes the key. Great. Next, third we are having the candidate key. So candidate, and here goes the key. Okay, let me come down 1, 2, 3. Here goes the fourth option, right? So next I am having here as alternate key. So alternate, and here goes the key, right? Next, after the alternate key, I am having here foreign key. So here goes the foreign, and here goes the key, right? Then number 6 we are having here as compound key. Okay, compound key. And number 7 I am having here as a surrogate key. Surrogate, and here goes the key. Okay, so yeah, these are some of the keys which we have here in the SQL. Let me just move above once. So the keys which are here and basically which are particularly used are that are actually super key, the primary key, the candidate key, and the foreign key. Super, primary, and foreign are actually the most used out. These words are completely most used out. Other than that, we have some more keys as well which I have completely listed out here. So we'll be discussing about all of the keys in a very much detail right here. Okay, so I would just start with the very first key, and let me come down. Fine. So the very first key that I'm going to go ahead with is the super key. So here goes the super, and here goes the key. Right? So I'll be telling you that what super key actually is. Okay. So I could just write that it is a group. It is a group of single or multiple. It is a group of single or multiple keys which basically which identifies rows in a table. Fine. So, super key, we have this one of the keys, and what it is completely a group of single or multiple keys which identifies rows in a table. Okay. As I told you in the very starting about the keys in SQL, that what are these completely used for? So these are completely used for finding out the relation in the rows, right? So finding out the rows in a table or the things like that, right? So in the case of the super key, what is it? It is completely, first of all, a group of single or multiple keys which identifies the rows in a table. Right, hope you got this idea very clearly. Next. Great. So coming to the next point, I am having here as primary key. So here goes the primary key. Let me just come down first of all. So it goes here at the space. Great. So moving for the primary key, what it is? So I could just write that it is a I could write column or a group of columns or a group of columns. It is a column or a group of columns in a table that uniquely identify. So it is a column or a group of columns in a table that uniquely identify every row in table. Right. So primary key, it is basically, you could say it is a column or a group of columns in a table that uniquely identify every row in a table. Right. So this is what the primary key actually is. Great. So let me now just come down to some new space. Great. So let's start with the third part, and that's the candidate key. So candidate, and here goes the key. Right, now what it is actually? So it is a set of attributes. It is a set of attributes. It is a set of attributes that uniquely QUELY. So it is a set of attributes that uniquely identify identify out the rows in a table. So it is again a set of attributes that uniquely identify the rows in a table. Now, basically, what is the thing that we have here? So, candidate key. It is, I could just write it from a form of this, that it is a. So it is a super key. So here goes like this. So okay. So completely, it is super key with no repeated attributes. With no repeated attributes. So here goes the attributes like this, right? So about the candidate key, so it is a set of attributes that uniquely identify the rows in a table, right? So it is a super key only which has no repeated attributes onto it particularly, right? So this was about the candidate key. Now, if we just move above for a while, so I just discussed with you that keys, what are these? So this is an attribute which helps you to identify out a row in a table, right? This is what was the work of the keys. So they basically help you to identify out a row in a table. Now, basically these are as well used for finding out the relations, right? When I talk about different types of keys which we have, so that are named as super key, primary key, candidate, alternate, foreign, compound, and surrogate keys. So these are some different 7 types of keys which we have here in the SQL. Now, if I talk about super key in detail, so it's completely a group of single or multiple keys which identifies the rows in a table, right? A group of single or multiple keys. When I talk about primary key, so it is a column or a group of columns in a table that uniquely identifies out the every row in a table. So whenever we just talk about uniquely identifying every row in a table, so in that case comes here the primary key. Next, we have about the candidates key. So it is a set of attributes that uniquely identify the rows in a table. So uniquely identify the rows in a table is the same thing. So it is a set of attributes. Now it is a kind of a super key which has no repeated attributes onto it. Super key we have already studied that it is a group of single or multiple identifiers row. It basically helps us to identify the rows in a table, right? Single or multiple keys. So in the same case, candidate keys as well a set of attributes that uniquely identifies the rows in a table. So I could just even say that it is a super key with no repeated attributes into it, right? So, hope you got out the idea first of all regarding that what are keys in SQL, what are these used for, then what are the different types of keys which we have, and we had seen about the super primary and the candidate key in detail as well. So, the rest of the keys which we are left out here with, and these we have been discussed. So rest of these which are left, which we are left out here are, so in that case basically we'll be discussing them in the further videos, right? So this is all for this video. Till then, thank you and take care.